Been a while since I've had the Oris Aquis on the channel, and I have to say, before we get into this, big thanks to Exquisite Timepieces, Naples, Florida, authorized dealer Oris, and over 60 other brands. My guy Tyler will take care of you. Link in the description to this watch, as well as direct contact information. I have purchased an embarrassing amount of watches through Exquisite Timepieces, both before the channel and before I was working with them, and then even after. As a matter of fact, I have 3 more coming here soon. Now, let's get into this guy here, because this is a bit of a special watch, and it's easy to gloss over this one, but for a long-time watch enthusiast, or even if you're new, and maybe you stumbled across a particular watch that Zodiac did in collaboration with shoot, who'd they do that? Oh, Huckberry. That's who they did it with. They had an incredible looking dial. I reviewed that watch a long time ago when it first came out, and I said it was one of the best dials out there. This dial gives me, reminds me of that dial a little bit. The way the focus of the gradient is from here and like kind of rays out. So it's almost like you're underwater and you're looking up, and it's a bright sun above the water, and it would be like how the reflection would shine down to you. Hopefully, I will do a pretty good job of capturing that. The Huckberry did it a little bit different. This one's cleaner and more natural looking, whereas that one was almost like if you had captured that picture and then edited it. This one looks more like an unedited version of what you would see underwater. Absolutely stunning dial, which is appropriate for this model because this is the Great Barrier Reef limited edition version 4. This is the 4th time they've done this. So let's cover the size. So this is technically the 43.5 millimeter Oris Aquis, or the full size standard diver. I measure it at closer to 43 millimeter, whether it's from here to here or at the bezel, because you can see the shape of the case. At its widest point, kind of matches the bezel, but it tapers in and then it bellies in too. So the Aquis is a very dynamic watch. If you've never tried one, definitely try one. Regardless of your wrist size, I promise you there's an Oris Aquis that will fit you. And quite frankly, there's a colorway that will entice you. Now, the lug-to-lug on this is approximately 51 millimeter, but we're dealing with proprietary lug systems here, meaning that the bracelet is essentially integrated into the case. However, it does have quick release spring bars on this thing, meaning you can easily swap this out for one of their rubber straps. I think there might even be a leather option, but there's definitely a rubber option, and a lot of the rubber strap options also come with a clasp system. It's pretty cool. The thickness, only 13.6 millimeter. I say only. Yes, 13.6 is thick for some people's preference on a watch, but keep in mind the old Seiko SKX is 13.5 millimeter, and that's only a 200 meter water resist with a 38-ish power reserve. This thing has 300 meter water depth rating and has a power reserve of 5 days, 120 hours, and the accuracy beyond what most COSC specs would indicate at a -3 to +5. This is the in-house movement. It's the caliber 400, and that inflates the price point. On top of the fact that it's a limited edition. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's finish off with the measurements. The width here, if you're interested, is about 22.9 millimeter. Bracelet tapers down nicely to 15.9. You have a 7 millimeter signed screw down crown. And then the clasp system looks different than what I remember. It's kind of like chamfered off. So like if it were to rub against something, it would just kind of deflect. But you just have a simple double pusher here, opens up, and then you have a dive extension. Something that most of us probably won't use. I would, and most of you would probably give that up for a quick release adjustment on the clasp system. So maybe in the future we'll see that. But you have a pretty cool case back here showing the Great Barrier Reef, and then your individual number of whatever number you have of 2000. And then there's a better look at that quick release. You just push that bar down and it just slides right out. I'm not going to do it because I don't have another strap to install on it. So the movement on this, yes, caliber 400 as indicated on the dial there. 5-day power reserve. Really nice color gradient and kind of a ray pattern on that dial. And then, of course, we have that metal I believe it's metal bezel insert. But this movement, caliber 400, it's something that Oris had worked on for a long time, and now we're starting to see more and more of it in their product line. It is an incredible movement. They've evolved it little bits, tweaks here and there's. When it first came out, there was not really issues, but they had to like dial it in. Well, these current run are dialed in. The winding action, if you unscrew the crown and you wind the movement, which I did, keep in mind you have, I don't know if it's one big barrel or two big barrels. It must be two barrels. It takes a lot of hand winding to get this thing to fire up. Probably like 50 or 60 turns or more, 80 turns maybe. Like, think about it. It has more than double of any other standard watch. Even like some new, Powermatic 80s at 80 power reserve. This has a whole nother like regular Seiko or ETA 2824 movement power reserve on top of the Powermatic 80 at 120. So it takes a lot of winding to get those springs tensioned up to release that energy. So be patient, keep winding it, it'll go. But other than that, a 10-year warranty on these guys with this caliber 400. So that's Oris really backing up their product. Pretty amazing, I think. Bezel action on this. They must have improved somewhere along the line. It's been a while, like I said, since I've handled one, but this bezel action, check this out. That is a very clean, crisp thud. Not like a high-pitched tick. It's like a nice thud, 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 and it's just great. I absolutely love it. Now let's pop this on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. I personally love the 43.5 millimeter. That's the variants that I like to go with. I have tried the 41.5. It's too small for me. I like the 43.5. The Oris Aquis tends to wear smaller, but present well on wrist. And this is a stunning model for sure. Excellent taper on the bracelet. Now let's give it a quick blast with the UV light. Oris always performs extremely well in the lume department. This one will do it as well. These are premium watches. It is in-house, luxury, all of that. Everything that I showed you is what you typically see on very well-known luxury brands and luxury watches. Oris is in that realm. I think they could compete easily with, the Tudors out there or the Omegas. It comes down to a preference. Yeah, they don't have the same stature with their name necessarily to most watch enthusiasts, but they are independent. And quite frankly, they should. If you really research it, they absolutely should. So my point is, the price point is $4,500. So don't let that scare you away. Go look at them, try them on, check them out, and I think you'll find that you can be a little different than the sheep out there, and you can experience luxury from an independent brand. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next vid.